Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday, and we have a lot to talk about today. A lot of things I want to tell you about. I'm waiting for everything to load up, and then we can get started. Waiting to see if Cloud Hub is going to load up this morning. Hopefully, you can see me. And it's morning where I'm at. I know on the East Coast it's a different time. And just to let you know, I typically, if you're on Cloud Hub and you are typing something in the comment section, I typically don't see the comments until afterwards. It just won't allow me to see the comments during the show. I don't know why. Maybe it's too slow. I'm not sure. But anyway, I do see them. I go back and I read them after the show. Um, now we get over here. First of all, let me just tell you this. I know a lot of people won't see this today because they're on Facebook, and a lot of people follow me on Facebook here. But I wanted to let you know that Facebook yesterday permanently banned me from their site. They indicated that I had violated community standards. And because of my community standards violation, I would not be allowed to ask for a review. They said once you have been kicked off because of that, you will never be allowed back on. Hey, Della, good to see you. So, just to let you know, if you're following me on Facebook and you want to know where I'm at now, I'm at a lot of different places: Instagram, Twitter, Getter, Truth Social, Cloud Hub, all under the name of Susan Knowles, SUSANKNOWLES. So you can always find me there, follow me on Rumble. Go ahead and just click and follow me, subscribe, and follow me here, so that hopefully I won't be kicked off of Rumble. There's a possibility that if I get one more strike on YouTube, it'll be lights out as well. I think with Facebook, I have no idea what I did because they don't tell you. I wouldn't have known that I was kicked off, except that I had a call from somebody who's to your website, on Facebook. Don't know. So some of my groups are still on Facebook, but I can't access them. So yeah, I know it's ridiculous, Stella. It really is. You're not giving any warning. You're not told why. You're just told adios. And honestly, some of it I think has to do with the fact that the election's getting ready to kick off. They know that conservatives are going to be speaking up, and they're getting rid of the conservatives before they have a chance to do that. Don't you have another account on Facebook? No, I have different groups and pages, Della, but I can't access them. You can only access those through your personal page, and that personal page is now completely gone. So if you're looking for me there, you won't find me because I'm no longer there. Now, to also tell you things before we get started, I have made a T-shirt. Uh, I have put it in the caption of the title of this program. Let me show you a little bit of it. This is a T-shirt. It said, "Her only hope may be you," and as you can see, this is it's depicting a young girl that's being abused. And on the back, I don't know if you can see this, but it says, "Report abuse, call 911." So if you have an interest in getting the T-shirt and having others be aware of child abuse, which is rampant. You've seen the movies that are out, um, with Jim Caviezel, Sound of Freedom. We just need to be more aware. We need to speak up. And the best thing to do if you think that a child is being abused is to call 911. Let the police handle it. But the worst thing you can do is do nothing. So my T-shirt is just kind of a way to bring awareness to people and let them know that they should speak up. And again, it's in the section of the caption of this Rumble and Cloud Hub. It should be everywhere. It gives you the link to get the T-shirt. Also, I have a book for young people called "You're Not a Monkey, Billy," and this is for children who have been confused about who they are because schools and other people are confusing them. And I'm sort of speaking in code again because I am streaming on YouTube. But if you're interested in this book, you can also find the link to this for Barnes and Noble. It's also on Amazon.com. A lot of people don't like to go there, but Barnes and Noble has it. And you can get this. It's for children, basically ages, I would say 4 through 11, to sort of teach them who they really are. Let's see. Also, I wanted to let you know, you can see scrolling on the bottom is my uh, website. Since I'm no longer on Facebook, if you want to find some of the things that I have for sale on my website, here's one example of this. This is a download page. Basically, you can go to my website at thespiritedcrafter.com, and you see that this website with the butterflies, if you like something like that, it's $3.50. Basically, you get an instant download of it. You can take it and you can print it out for yourself and use it for crafts that you want to make, or a myriad of different things that you want to do. And probably what I'm going to do too is go back and offer that also as a transparency, so that you can get it in that format as well. But you'll see all my downloads are here. I'm trying to see another one. If I could bring it up really quickly, things aren't working quickly, but there's another one here. These make great, gifts, gift cards, stationery cards, thank you cards, different things of that nature. So you can always find that there. Let's see, another thing. I think I mentioned everything. And as always, these when I bring you, any health and wellness, it's basically bringing you what I'm doing, what works for me. I'm not a doctor or a healthcare professional, so I'm always telling you, go out and speak to your doctor about what you should do. But I want to talk to you about some of the research that I've done, so that you know what I know, and then you can make your own decision. As you know, I've been on my healthcare or health and wellness uh, journey. For me, I've lost 25 pounds since September of last year. I switched to a fully Mediterranean food plan, which I absolutely love, which a lot of people I think are confused about. You can just Google it and you can look up Mediterranean diet plan, and you'll see it's healthy food. You don't have to go out of your way to make different foods. I mean, it's pretty simple. And I've done a lot of exercise. I do about 2 miles of walking a day and a rebounder for about 15 minutes. And I try to be as healthy as I can be. So when I do research and I find things, I want to bring them to you so that you can also look at it, find out if it is something that is right for you, and maybe start using it in your life as well. So let me show you now. Let's start on something that I have started using and became aware of recently. And let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger so that you can see it. All right, it's called MALK, MALK, not to be confused with milk, but it is MALK. And basically, MALK has nothing to do with milk. Let me try to make this a little bit bigger for you to see. All right, you can see what the cost of it is. This is about a 28-ounce container, and it's from anywhere from like $5.99 to $7.29, and anywhere in between. This is all organic, unsweetened, and it has a lot of great ingredients in it, and we'll get into what those ingredients are. Let me scroll on down here. You can see that it has about 11 grams of fat. It has 3 grams of dietary fiber, which you subtract from the total fat number. So it has about 8 grams of fat actually. And the ingredients are 3 simple things: filtered water, organic almonds, and Himalayan salt. And if you get the vanilla, of course, there's vanilla flavor in it or something like that. So it seems pretty healthy. Now, there are 70 calories per cup. That's, now keep in mind, usually calories are measured like this in teaspoons or whatever, but this is per cup. So that's really good. That's like 8 ounces and only 70 calories. Again, that is really excellent to have that. What I use it for is I use this for a creamer for my coffee. I was using another type of creamer, and I started looking at the ingredients in that creamer, thinking, gosh, I'm not sure that this is really good for me. And let me scroll on down. I was using the Silk almond creamer. You can see that it's 32 ounces. And before you think, wow, that MALK, MALK, is pretty expensive, right? Not really. If you look at this, you get 4 more ounces, and it's about the same cost. This right here was 5.99, and they lowered it to 5.49. I just picked a typical page and looked at it and saw that it had been, lowered down, a decrease in price. But it's really quite similar in price to something that is organic, unsweetened, and everything else that's supposed to be good for you. Only 3 ingredients, no chemicals, and other things that aren't good for you. So it's a bargain in the way I look at it. Now, looking at the ingredients here, we see that it has about dietary fiber of 0. So the fat that it has is only 1 gram. So that is really good. But you see, other things are 0, 0, 0. So you're getting 0 protein in it, dietary fiber, sugar. And so, I mean, you can look at that and go, well, on the one hand, it looks pretty good, but on the other hand, not so great. And if you look at the serving size, it's 1 tablespoon as compared to a cup. You get 1 tablespoon here, and that tablespoon has 25 calories per tablespoon. It's a lot of calories if you put a lot in there, right? So that's something that, again, let's see, Della says I use only heavy whipping cream. Oh, well, I that doesn't sound so great. I mean, it probably has a lot of fat in that heavy whipping cream, I'm guessing, and I don't use it, so I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine that would be so healthy for you. Hey, Angie, sounds good. I'm glad that you're listening, Angie. Please go back and listen to the very beginning, because I was saying a lot of things there that you might want to catch and pick up on. All right. So let's keep going a little bit farther here. Let's look at the ingredients first. Almond milk, filtered water, almonds good. Cane sugar, not so good necessarily. Sugar, um, high oleic sunflower oil, pea protein, potassium citrate, baking soda, sunflower lecithin, natural flavor, sea salt, yellow gum, and contains almond. There are some things in there that aren't so good necessarily. Okay, so let's take a look at what some of those things are that may not be that great for you. Is gum good or bad for you? Gum gum is an additive found in a variety of processed foods. Although it may fight constipation in some people, most of its alleged benefits are not supported by science. That said, it's widely considered safe because it's typically used in small amounts. It's unlikely to cause problems. I don't know about you, but for me, when I hear something like that, like, well, I mean, it's not so bad because it's used in small amounts, which means if it were used in larger amounts, might not be so great for you. So my question to myself is, why am I putting that in my body, right? If it's not good in any amount that I might choose, like a large amount or whatever, why then do I want to use it? It's saying that it's not going to hurt you supposedly, in the small amount, but if you use it every day, what about that? I don't know. Now this is stuff that I Googled on the internet, so you can Google it. Just if you want to see, just put in the same question, and that should come up. Now, is sunflower lecithin healthy or not? Lecithin is a fatty substance naturally found in the body in foods like soy, sunflower, egg yolk, and other animal products. While all lecithin can offer health benefits, sunflower lecithin supposedly is the most healthy and equally beneficial. It's rich in vitamins, minerals, and other important compounds. Okay, that sounds good. We go on and it says, what are the negative side effects of the sunflower lecithin? It can cause some side effects, including diarrhea, nausea, stomach pain, or fullness. When applied to the skin, it's likely safe for most adults. Again, I don't like the sound of that. I want to hear it's great. No matter what you do with it, it's good. Other people may say, well, that's not a big deal for me. So, whatever you need to do. Now, the good oleic sunflower oil. Heart benefits and lower cholesterol. There are some loose evidence of heart benefits to this type of oil. This is because it is low in saturated fats. A still lingering nutritional myth is that fats are unhealthy and that saturated fat should be very limited in the diet due to the higher risk of heart disease versus other types of fat. Having said that, some older research does show the type of fats in this type of sunflower oil can help to decrease LDL, quote unquote, the bad cholesterol, increase HDL, the good cholesterol, and improve one's overall cholesterol profile. Now, if you were with me the other day, there was a book that I'm reading called The Clot Thickens by Dr. Malcolm Kendrick. He a lot of evidence and support for the fact we have been lied to about LDL and that it's not as bad as we've been told. In fact, there in his book, he talks about a research that was done back in 1973 that shows really there's no connection between the LDL and the cardiovascular disease that we've been told that we have. And the use of statins came about because it's a money making deal, right? So if you haven't gotten that book, you may want to get that book. I really like it. It talks about what really causes cardiovascular disease and heart disease. But if you go by what's being told to you today, you may be misled. Now, in that book also, they talk about a company, and I'm on YouTube, so I'm going to use some code. A company with a P and ends with an R that was involved with this a couple of years ago and still doing that. They supposedly were doing research about blood clots and coming upon a really good research result, right? That's kind of where they were headed. But they noticed that everybody was on this statin uh, trend, I guess, whatever you want to call it. And they decided, hey, we're not going to make any money here. So what are we going to do? Well, first of all, we're going to drop this research because we're going to head down the road that everybody else is on. And they bought a company that was already working in statins so that they could start earning money themselves. And they dropped that research and then started marketing the statins. And the book from Dr. Kendrick talks to you about how you're totally being misled. Again, his words, not mine. I'm not a doctor. But again, you may want to get that book and check it out for yourself and do some research on it. But it really made me open my eyes to a lot of things and look at things why I don't want to ever be on that drug. Other people, I know people who are on it. And after reading that book, I really wish they would read the book, but that's all I can do is tell them. All right. So let me go back over here. It says the how reliable that is. Reviewed the evidence and says that it is supportive but not conclusive scientific evidence that replacing this high oleic acid oil for oils higher in saturated fat may reduce the risk of heart disease. Again, I don't like looking at things that are you need the FDA to weigh in on, or the FDA says maybe, kind of scary. Now, there's the link if you want to copy it down. There's the link if you want this article and without having to search around. Now, it says, what are the negative effects of this high oleic sunflower oil? It says omega-6 fats are inflammatory. They create inflammation in the body, which is essentially the source of many health problems today, like obesity, type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and many others. And again, Dr. Kendrick, I think, would agree. The person who wrote the clot thickens, I think he would agree with that. That the omega 6 that we are taking or have in our bodies is not healthy. All right, classic sunflower oil is high in omega 6 polyunsaturated fats and is therefore inflammatory and unhealthy. And you'll learn if you get that book about the different cells in your body and what inflammation does to those cells and why this could possibly be an issue. Now, we also notice when we looked at that picture that potassium citrate was in the almond milk, the silk almond milk. It talks about why is that added. They say it prevents coagulation and stabilizes a drink. And in barista beverages, these ingredients can also balance out the low pH of coffee, so curdling doesn't occur when added to hot liquid. Okay, that sounds good, fair, right? So, what are the side effects of potassium citrate in food? Common side effects of potassium citrate include upset stomach, nausea, and diarrhea. Taking potassium citrate with food may help avoid an upset stomach. Serious side effects of it include high levels of potassium in the blood and damage to the stomach lining, which can cause lesions or bleeding. Okay, to me, that doesn't sound good. And again, I want to, when I'm enjoying my coffee, I want to know that I'm having something good that's good for my health as well as, makes my coffee taste good. So, uh, just looking at that, I wasn't thrilled with what I was getting in my creamer. Now, going back over here, let's see. Um, so that for me, that is why I switched over and got off of the silk almond creamer and switched over to this MALK, MALK, and it's just milk. You could use this milk in your cereal. I put it in my coffee, but you can drink it straight, whatever you want to do, and you can find good prices for it. Again, it's like 4 ounces less than the silk, and it appears, from what I've just read, it appears to be healthier for you than the silk that I was drinking. Now, let's turn a little bit. We're talking about things that like sunflower oil and things that are good for you that way. Let's talk a little bit while we have some time about seed oils, because we hear a lot about seed oils. And, a lot of people think that all seed oils are good and you don't have to worry about it. Well, let's talk about, let me bring this up here. Give me just a second to get this loaded. The fats and the oils to avoid. So whoops, sorry about that. Let me bring this up. All right, here we go. Got it up, and here we go. So, fats and oils to avoid. They talk about fats to limit saturated fat. And where is that? That's found in a lot of meats. Butter and cheese, saturated fat stays solid at room temperature. They can raise your total cholesterol and your LDL or bad cholesterol levels. People with arthritis are more at risk of heart disease, so they need to be watching their cholesterol levels. Again, there's some different trains of thought on that, and as far as the saturated fats are concerned, and what kind of fats are bad for you, and the LDL and all that. How's the taste by itself? I don't know, Della, on that MALK. It seems like it would taste pretty good. I don't drink it by itself, so I don't know. I don't eat cereals or anything like that, so I don't know. But you may want to try the vanilla, because I think next time I will get vanilla. I think it would give it a little bit a boost in taste. Not that it's a bad taste, but I think it would be a really good taste, and so I will try that next time. Now, they say fats to limit: saturated fat from coconut oil and omega 6 fatty acids. Now, a lot of people, I guess, with arthritis, when you have this inflammation, it is so bad for people with arthritis. So you have to, if nothing else, kind of look at that and think about I need some things that are anti-inflammatory, if nothing else. Will it cause heart disease with the high LDL? I don't know. Again, reading the book that I'm reading and what the doctor is talking about, he would have a totally different opinion. But it seems like the way to make money these days is to talk about statins and to push those and to tell you how bad that the LDL is for you. That's probably a conversation that you should have with your doctor, a do your own research type thing, and read that book if you're really interested. Again, it's eye opening. It's really eye opening. Now, let's see, fats to avoid, trans fats. So that's just a list of that's from the Arthritis Foundation, and it says learn which fats to limit in an anti-inflammatory diet. So again, that's something you may want to check out, and if you have the arthritis, you certainly want to take it seriously because it is not something to take lightly. The people who suffer with and arthritis is really severe and really painful. Okay, so let's go to the next one here. Whoops. And it just made my screen go blank. I love that. Okay. This is coming up slowly, but it's coming up. I promise you it'll be here. Maybe. This is in regards to the 8 toxic seed oils and what to know about them. Let me see if I can zoom out a little bit. Apparently I can't, but hope you can see this. The 8 industrial toxic seed oils are canola, corn, cottonseed, soy, sunflower, safflower, grapeseed, and rice bran. Industrial seed oils are the highly processed oils extracted from soybeans, corn, rapeseed, which canola, cottonseed, and sunflower and safflower seeds. All the seeds are gathered, they're heated to extremely high temperatures, oxidize the fatty acid. This creates byproducts that are harmful to your health. This is according to the DUNETZ, how you pronounce that, Wellness Center. There's a call. What's wrong with the industrial? There are 6 main problems with them. Their assumption of industrial seed oils represents an evolutionary mismatch. Seed oils raises our omega-6 to omega-3 fatty acid ratios with significant consequences to our health. Industrial seed oils are unstable and oxidize easily. They contain harmful additives. They're derived from genetically modified crops. Not good. When industrial seed oils are repeatedly heated, as restaurants do in fryers, even more toxic byproducts are created. So again, we're talking about, some sunflower oils that are in things like the creamers that you may want to try to avoid. It's saying then here too, how are industrial seed oils making us sick? And they are far from the healthy label they carry. A number of chronic inflammatory diseases have been linked to a number of chronic health problems such as asthma, autoimmune disease, cognitive and mental health issues such as depression, anxiety, cognitive decline, dementia, and even Alzheimer's, diabetes and obesity, heart disease. They said they are far from being heart healthy. Gut health issues such as irritable bowel syndrome and inflammatory bowel disease, inflammation, infertility, macular degeneration, and osteoarthritis. I mean, my goodness. Now look at this, the polyunsaturated fats in the plant oils. It said at this point, it should be clear that we want to avoid the omega-6 fats in our cooking oil. The following is a good graphic to represent what to avoid. And it starts out with the cocoa butter, coconut, palm, olive, avocado, all pretty good. And then we start getting down into the peanut, canola, rice bran, corn, cottonseed, grapeseed, sunflower, and soybean. And look how bad that is, depending on what your opinion is about polyunsaturated fats. It says oils from tropical plants such as cocoa, coconut, and palm are the lowest in omega-6, while oils from cold weather plants such as sunflower and soybean are the highest. So, I mean, again, you have to, what your own opinion is. It says, what is the best oil that's not a seed oil? Olive oil, avocado oil, corn oil, and butter tend to be lower in the lecithin acid and are considered reliable substitutes for other seed oils. However, they tend to have strong flavors and can outshine the ingredients, which I have never found that in having anything like olive oil. It's always been really tasty and really good. So I hope this gives you some ideas, some things to at least go to and start looking at and start doing some of the research for yourself. After what has happened over the last 3 years, and you know what I'm talking about. Um, Angie said, great information, Susan. I'm putting away groceries and listening. Great. I hope you didn't get any silk creamer after this one. I'm just kidding, Angie. But I hope that after you can see after all that's happened, that we've got to really take things more seriously, especially our health, and do things up front that are proactive and can prevent a lot of issues. Inflammation, accordingly to what happened, back then, inflammation was a lot of what caused people's demise, right? So if you can look at some things and eat healthy and maybe take some certain supplements or whatever, and I'll talk a little bit more about supplements the next time, different things that we need to be aware of. Again, that sometimes we are being lied to about. I know that's hard to believe. And we're getting information that's just not accurate. I get organic creamer of half and half. Yeah, and you can see, Angie, go back and look at, see what I do, compare it to yours, see if yours is better or how you think they compare. And it may be something, again, it's almost like people say, well, I don't want to look at every ingredient. And, I can remember that too. You don't want to look at every ingredient, but it's getting to the point where you kind of need to look at it with all these things coming up that the fake meat and the different things that they're putting into different things that we're eating. Probably not the healthiest. But anyway, I don't know if you have any questions. I just wanted to bring you something really quickly for you to look at, for you to uh, have information that's real, have information that's pertinent to what I'm finding in the research I'm doing. I'm trying to look at different people and their research, so I'm not just getting one person's opinion, and things that I'm doing on my own and looking at, whether I like this creamer over the other. And creamer, again, while it may be significant things, it is something people tend to do on a daily basis. And over time, it can be very harmful to you, according to what I'm finding in research. Angie says we eat local organic beef and chicken, which is excellent. If you have people who you can go to for that, that's really, really good. And also, you also, when what we talked about today, you have to look at the meats that you're eating too, that you don't eat a lot of red meats and things of that nature, because that can also get you in trouble down the road. Della said people who grow their own food and can it are eating good, and can it are eating good food. Yeah, probably the best thing that you can do. And growing your own, having your own cattle and chicken and all that are probably the best things, because things are being added into everything that you eat. And again, you want to be aware as much as you can be, as much as they're telling you, right? You want to be aware of what you're eating. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you will share this with everyone. And again, you won't be seeing me on Facebook because I have been permanently banned off of Facebook for violating their community rules, that they won't tell me what those are and what the violation is, and they won't allow me a review. The way I'm looking at it is it's probably the healthiest thing. So while I'm cutting out things on my creamer, cutting out Facebook is probably going to be one of the healthiest things that I can do for myself. So anyway, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing this, and I will see you again next time. Till then, happy and healthy eating, and God bless you. Take care, everybody.